have to make things win-win. Like, what's the value exchange? How can I add value to someone in some way? That's the fundamental rule of all business, is just giving people value. If you give people enough value, you'll never be poor, ever.
Yeah, and I think that's the value that someone told me this is like the value that you give to the world is basically the wealth that you receive. So if you're a millionaire or multi-millionaire or you're worth multiple seven figures, you've obviously added so much value to the world, because there's no other real way to get that finance. Obviously you could sell drugs, but it's a different game.
I mean, you could make the argument that is in some way adding value in the form of like escapism to somebody. You could make that argument.
I mean, I was joking, but thanks for the justification.
No, because the reason I'm making the justification is because I think it's important to understand why people exchange money for goods and services. If you want to understand business, if you want to understand why businesses make money and how yours can make more money, well, then you should be able to look at any money exchange and be like, why are they exchanging it? What's the deep core value that is being fulfilled through that? And so I think with drugs, it's escapism.
Of course. So again, I think what most people struggle with is they only see the surface value of things. Yeah. Like they just see some porn star. You know what I mean? But really, you had like you just said, you were a chemistry degree or what, and you started burning ash or some crowd. I don't even understand.
I wasn't even paying attention.
No, but I was saying like all the depth to then creating the business, whereas some people just think you're a porn star that started. Now you're selling sex advice online, but it's like, okay, think about the 15 years and the time you spent and the depth that you have to your knowledge. I find that, again, as a fighter, I had a guy that did mixed martial arts and fought in UFC, people just think I'm a thug. It's like, if you truly understood how fucking hard it is to fight in the UFC and the commitment I have to take and the dieting and the weight cutting and the training and the knowledge that I have to possess to be able to step into a cage and fight another man on TV, it would blow your mind, the amount of effort I have to put into that. But they just see the face value. And I think that's a big issue in the world, because we just see everyone for face value, and people don't want to understand the depth of individuals. They don't want to understand the depth of problems. They just want them to go away. And I think that's something that you explained very well. If you are interested in making money, and that's what you want to make money, you need to understand the depth of money, how money moves, why money moves, where it goes, and how you can get in between it. Like, that's how you make money, right? So if you understand why people buy things, then you can sell them things. You know what I mean? It's basically. I had this recently with somebody, because I did it, we were talking about not trading your time for money, and I was a personal trainer, so still kind of am every now and then. So I'd be like, okay, it's €100, I'll hold some pads, and people would be like, my friends or whatever. I've got a friend, my oldest friend, his name's James. He's my age, 35. His dad owned a company. He's now a maths teacher. He's in London, but just teaches Asian kids maths, because in London it's full of Asian kids. I don't know why, but it is. Anyway, and I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, oh yeah, no, it's great. I go to work. I earn okay money. I don't know how much money he earns. I haven't got a clue. But it's like, for me, holding pads, say I get paid €100 a session. Okay, I do eight a day. It's €800 a day. Okay, let's call it 1,000, because my maths isn't that good. Do it 5 times a week. It's $5,000 a week. It's like, there's no way as a math teacher he's making that money, right? But still, me, as a guy sitting here doing that maths in my mind, I'm like, I would prefer to hold no pads and make €500 a week by doing something else, because I'm not trading my time for it. And a personal trainers out there, because I know a lot of friends of mine that hold pads, or they teach people how to make weights or whatever. If they can come up with a product that people are interested in and people want, and they can sell that product online in the internet, this big massive thing that we all should know how to use, it's endless money. Like, it's endless. There's no cap to how much money you can make, whereas you can only do 8 hours a day of work, and you can only make maximum €800 a day. Sounds like great money, but then when you start making it, it's like, I could just make this product, do nothing, and then make money. Obviously, it's not that simple. Don't get me wrong. But an idea that I came up with recently, which I thought was a pretty good idea, and again, talking about the why people spend their money, is if you're a personal trainer or a boxing personal trainer, as I am, is coming up with a course. I think this actually exists already. A friend of ours has got it. A course where you teach parents how to bond with their children through boxing. So it's like you hold pads for your son or your daughter. I mean, every man who's got a son wants their son to be able to fight. Every man who's got a daughter wishes they had a son and wishes that they could fight. So they might struggle with their daughter bonding, or they don't know how to do it. So I'm doing some pads. Like I said this to a friend of mine, Carl. I said, you should come up with a product where you teach parents how to coach their kids in boxing. Sell it for $100, whatever it is, and you're selling the emotion of bonding with your children. Who doesn't want to bond with their children? I'll give you $100. I can bond with my child. So it's like understanding that emotion. So that was like something I come up with recently, which I think is a great idea. So anyone watching who's a personal trainer knows how to hold pads. I think but then it's getting out to the masses. So this is my whole point of talking about this, is moving on to what you've done, which is an incredible business that you've created. Is like you've taken your experience in the sex industry and now you've improved sex for men. Like basically is what you're trying to do, right? You call yourself the best sex teacher in what?
I am the men's best sex coach in the planet.
Men's best sex coach. So you've become the man's best sex coach, but that's not by just being a porn star and just understanding sex. It's also by having the scientific background
in teaching too.
The background in teaching that has allowed you to be able to create these products. Yeah. So you're found a pain point for people in the world, which is struggling with sex, and you've improved it for them. And that's a fountain and endless money that just rains on you constantly, right?
Not quite. Well, but it's a kind of a never-ending problem.
Yes.
And it's only getting worse in modern society because of things like internet pornography, which I thoroughly discourage anyone to consume. It's only getting worse because of shitty diets, sedentary lifestyle, things like alcohol and weed and stuff like that. TikTok brain, like all these things are contributing to worse problems, lower testosterone levels in men, massively contributing to underperformance or lackluster performance in the bedroom for men. Mm. So unfortunately, the problem ain't going away anytime soon. So
unfortunately for you,
yeah, I mean you could say that, but I'm trying to do my part to like plug. What's that old fable? The little boy who stuck his finger in the dike. You don't remember that fable?
The dike.
The dike is a word for like a dam.
Okay, dyke in England is a word for a lesbian.
Okay,
so
well,
stuck his finger in a dyke. I was like, a dam. Stuck his finger in a dam. Okay.
I'm not making this up. The boy who stuck his finger in the dike is a story. Okay, I didn't just pull that out my ass. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm trying to plug that little, do something to stop the fucking.
What happened in the story? He puts a finger in the what?
Yeah, and he stops the thing was going to flood the entire village, and so he stuck his finger in the dike and saved the village.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. And then they had to find a way to like get him out.
Oh, okay.
Because he's stuck there. And like, well, now what do we do?
I'm definitely going to have to Google the.
It's a real story. I didn't just make that up.
But, okay, so what you're saying is
I'm the little boy
with
his finger in the dike.
Stop saying I put my finger in a dike. It doesn't sound right.